Hello friends, welcome to the another session of Knowledge Pitara, where we are going to discuss about a most commonly used function in Excel, that is Vlookup formula. What is Vlookup? This function is used to look up the value vertically. So what is the syntax of the Vlookup formula is you have to write Vlookup, then there is a lookup value which you are looking up. Then there is a table array. You also have to make sure that that table array, the first column at this of this table, should have that lookup value which you are looking up. Then there is a column index number, from which column you want to get the value out of it. Then there is a range lookup. This generally it can be 0 or it can be 1 or vice versa, false or true. False or 0 stands for exact match. 1 or true stands for approximate. Now, have you have also noticed that this range lookup value is in the parentheses. Why it is in the parentheses? Because these are optional parameters. Now, what it means about the optional parameter? So if you don't pass it, there is a default value which it takes up. The default is 0, which is exact match. So first we will consider about how the exact match works, and then we will look how the approximate match works and what are the conditions where you can use the approximate match and what is the required format of the data so that approximate match works in the more perfection area. So here is an Vlookup formula where we are going to look up the value of the colors, the count of the colors. So let's take an example where first we will find out what are the count of the color blue. So for this we have to write Vlookup function. Then you have to do a lookup value. So lookup value is my blue. Then table array is this. Now you have, as I mentioned, that you have to make sure that your first column should have that lookup value. So my first column is this one and it contains the lookup value. Then you have to pass on the column index number. The column index number is from which column you want to get the result out of it. So I am looking for the count of the colors and that's my second column. So this is my first column, this is my second column. So I have to pass second to. Then here you have the option of false as exact match and true as approximate match. So right now I am using false and I am entering it. So this gives me the result as 3, which was as expected because the count of blue is 3. Now let's see, if we don't pass the correct value, what would the result? So I am going to pass black color. Now because black color is not there, so and we are using the exact match, so there won't be any matching of black color. In this scenario, the below function returns an error value of -na. So as it is expected that it returns an error. Now this is how the below formula works. Now we will look how this approx match works in Vlookup formula. Now, in approximate match, what we have to do is instead of passing false, we have to pass true. Let's see how it works. I am putting a Vlookup formula and then I have passed value as 62. I have selected whole range. Now I don't have a second column into this one, so I have only one column. I am going to pass 1 over here and true, which stands for approximate. Once I enter, it gives me the result as 34. Now, lots of people think about the approximate works like identifying the value which is nearest to 62, but it's actually not in that way. That is, identify the value which is nearest to 62. How this approximates? Now first look onto this functionality, because this is very important to understand this area of Vlookup function. What it does is, whenever you pass an approximate match, it divides the whole data in two parts, half upper part and half lower part. In this I have 10 cells, so it will divide these as 5 upper part and 5 at the lower part. Then it will compare this value 62 with this part, that's the last part of the top. So this was my top 5 and it will compare 62 with 72. Now because as 62 is lower than 72, it will again do the similar step in the upper part. So now upper part is only these 4 cells. Then this is my middle part, because these are the 4 upper. Then these are the 2 middle ones. So it will compare now 61 with 62. Because 62 again is greater than 61, it will now look into the lower one. Again, it will half it. It will compare this 62 with 29. Again, it is higher than 29. It will result as 34. Now, this is how the approximate works. So, if you want to see how it will gives a different result, let's try to put the result as 60. Now, you see, I enter the 60, again it moved in the upper one. Then in the upper one, it again check with these values, and in these values, it's checked with the 45 value, and it was bigger than 45. It result the 45 value. So this is how the approximate works. So how you can get most out of the approximate? The best way to get most out of approximate is, first sort your data in an ascending order. Always make sure that your data should be in ascending order, so it will give you the maximum matches result. So let's make this as an sorting data. I'm sorting it from smallest to largest. Now, as soon as I make it smallest to largest, you see the result has been changed. Now the approximate match is working more in a better way, where when you pass on the 73 value, it resulted as 72. Again, if I pass on 74, it will result in 72, because that's the approximate match. Now if I pass on 78, it will give me a 77 value. So this is how this approximate works in the Vlookup function. Now, what are the best areas where you can use this Vlookup function, or feature of Vlookup function, which is approximate? Let's look into this. Let's say you have taken an exam of in a center, and there are the grades for a particular range of numbers. So anyone who scores from 0 till 40, he will get an E grade. From 40 to 50, he will get a B grade. 50 to 60, C grade. 60 to 80, B grade. 80 to 100, A grade. Anything above 100, they will get A plus. So let's see how this function will work. Let's say a person gets 65 marks. So the person who is in 65, he should be under B grade. Now let's try to use the VLOOKUP. I am passing the lookup value. Again I am passing the whole range. This time I am using the 2 columns table. Passing the 2 because I am looking for the grades which are in the second column. Then I am making it as a true. Okay. Now this is working perfectly, because I was looking for a B grade, it's giving me a B grade. Now if I am looking for a person who has an 85 marks, So 85 marks, he should be above this in this range. He is getting A grade. If anyone who is getting more than 100, so let's say a person is getting 105, he should be A plus. So this is how the VLOOKUP functions approximate works. Hope this video will make you more clear on how this VLOOKUP approximate works. And in case of any questions or suggestions, please drop a comment and I will try to include that into my next video. Thanks for watching the video.